USPAP Standard 1 Real Property Appraisal Development, page 15. In developing a real property appraisal, an appraiser must identify the problem to be solved, determine the scope of work necessary to solve the problem, and correctly complete research and analysis necessary to produce a credible appraisal. Comment. Standard 1 is directed toward the substantive aspects of developing a credible appraisal of real property. The requirements set forth in Standard 1 follow the appraisal development process in the order of topics addressed and can be used by appraisers and the users of appraisal services as a convenient checklist. Standards Rule 1-1. In developing a real property appraisal, an appraiser must A. Be aware of, understand, and correctly employ those recognized methods and techniques that are necessary to produce a credible appraisal. Comment. This standards rule recognizes that the principle of change continues to affect the manner in which appraisers perform appraisal services. Changes and developments in the real estate field have a substantial impact on the appraisal profession. Important changes in the cost and manner of constructing and marketing commercial, industrial, and residential real estate, as well as changes in the legal framework in which real property rights and interests are created, conveyed, and mortgaged, have resulted in corresponding changes in appraisal theory and practice. Social change has also had an effect on appraisal theory and practice. To keep abreast of these changes and developments, the appraisal profession is constantly reviewing and revising appraisal methods and techniques, and devising new methods and techniques to meet new circumstances. For this reason, it is not sufficient for appraisers to simply maintain the skills and the knowledge they possess when they become appraisers. Each appraiser must continuously improve his or her skills to remain proficient in real property appraisal. B. Not commit a substantial error or of omission or commission that significantly affects an appraisal. And comment. An appraiser must use sufficient care to avoid errors that would significantly affect his or her opinions and conclusions. Diligence is required to identify and analyze the factors, conditions, data, and other information that would have a significant effect on the credibility of the assignment results. C. Not render appraisal services in a careless or negligent manner, such as by making a series of errors that, although individually might not significantly affect the results of an appraisal, in the aggregate affects the credibility of those results. Comment. Perfection is impossible to attain, and competence does not require perfection. However, an appraiser must not render appraisal services in a careless or negligent manner. This standard rule requires an appraiser to use due diligence and due care. Standards Rule 1-2. In developing a real property appraisal, an appraiser must A. Identify the client and other intended users. B. Identify the intended use of the appraiser's opinions and conclusions. Comment. An appraiser must not allow the intended use of an assignment or a client's objectives to cause the assignment results to be biased.